Here on Inside the Hawks with St. Joseph's baseball coach Fritz Hamburg, Matt Martucci joining you. Obviously an exciting time for you coming into yet another season of SJU baseball. The potential, obviously, of the construction of a new baseball field. How's that process coming along?
Well, we're certainly excited that things are moving forward. We're optimistic that if all things go well, hopefully we have our fall season for 2011 on the Maguire Campus, which will be a huge asset for us. I know the guys are all excited, as are the coaching staff, and I think the entire St. Joe's community. So we're certainly very excited, not only to be able to play on campus, but how we feel it can affect our overall performance.
What does that do for you from a recruiting standpoint when you sell this program to a potential recruit?
Well, I think anytime you have a facility on campus is a plus. Campbell's has been a great segue from being at Latchall to getting to Hawk Hill. But just to be able to bring guys on campus and have them see a facility and see them have a player's room and to actually be able to utilize the facility, and also from a time management standpoint, I think that's a huge selling point for us. Our guys have done a great job, all things considered, but I just think we can get a lot better now that we'll have that facility on campus.
A little bit of fall baseball from what I'm looking at with the schedule. A couple of games against Lehigh and Princeton. What did you see from your team during those?
We did. We were fortunate. We actually played 3 games this fall. We played our first game against an elite high school group out of Ontario, Canada, and then we also played Lehigh and Princeton. It was a great fall. We have a lot of young guys. We have I want to say 13 freshmen on board right now, and as goes with every year, you're certainly excited for the new guys to come in and see what they bring and how they're going to impact the program. And I think the fall gave us an opportunity to see that we have plenty of freshmen that are going to make an impact. How quickly remains to be seen, but I think that overall we were very excited about the athleticism and the level of competitiveness in this freshman group. And further, the last year's season, I think really, although it was a disappointing ending, we gained an awful lot in overall team chemistry and expectation, and I think it's carried over. The returners have done a great job with carrying that forward and really getting the young guys on board, and we've really had an exciting fall.
You lose, obviously, an awful lot. The 2 names that come to mind, David Valicente, Dewey Oriente. How do you replace guys like that, and who are some of the names that you're counting on?
Well, yeah, I mean, so I guess that's the nature of the business, is every year you're going to lose important cogs to that specific year's success. And, Randy Maurer as well, obviously him going on and signing a free agent contract with the Nationals was big. But, I don't know that you necessarily replace. You're fortunate to have those guys, and then with the guys that, you kind of have a vision to say, okay, well, we've got this guy to step in. We may not be quite as strong in one specific area, but hopefully we're going to get stronger in others. And, I think this year, I think Brett Tigwad had an exciting year for us last year. He added a lot in the speed category. He defended well. Ran into a little bit of a slump the last 2 weekends, but he was big for us. And I think Kevin Taylor obviously did a nice job for us hitting in the middle of the lineup. And as a sophomore, we're fortunate that he's back this year and hopefully next year. And so I think from that standpoint, defensively and offensively, those 2 guys, we need them to go. I think that hopefully some of the other guys are going to step up with the opportunities that are given. But I think the big thing right now is that our strongest point returning is our pitching staff. Although numbers-wise we didn't have as much success as certainly we had hoped, but we have a lot of experience back, and I think that this pitching staff is probably stronger than in many years here at St. Joe's. And I can speak from a coaching standpoint of having worked with pitchers much of my career is that I think we have an awful lot of options from a pitching, and whether it's starting, middle relief, setup, and hopefully close. But we've got plenty of quality arms that hopefully we can get right, and that they're going to have a lot of success, and it's going to make us go.
You mentioned Randy Maurer and that free agent contract with the Nationals. Have you talked to Randy at all? How did that go for him?
He actually he did. He came back and came back this fall and visited with the players, and it was, professional baseball is a challenging opportunity. It's a lot different than playing college ball, and I know he was hopeful that he was going to get more work, but he was in the Gulf Coast League, where a lot of times guys come down on rehab assignments, and he I think had hoped to get a few more innings, but I think he did a good enough job. He had a rough start, but then got himself in a good position, and I think he pitched pretty competitively, and hopefully the organization sees him as a guy that is going to be consistent, and he has a great opportunity this spring training and summer to go out and get some more innings under him.
What do you tell your guys when you talk about necessarily playing at the next level? Do you have that conversation, and how does it go?
Sure, we do. I mean, I think certainly with the recruiting process, these are guys, first and foremost, I know they want to be at St. Joe's, and whether they have relatives that have graduated from the university, or just in general an overall feel for what Hawk Hill is all about. But at the same time, too, in our process, we're looking at guys that do want to go to the next level. Those are the type of players that we feel have the balance academically, but also have the drive athletically, that they do want to go on and play at the next level. And so, yes, that is definitely a point that we do cover. And hopefully within the next couple years, we have more and more guys that move to the next level.
St. Joseph's head coach Fritz Hamburg joining us here on Inside the Hawks. When you look at the scope of the Atlantic 10 this year, what do you see in terms of what you're up against?
Well, I can say that last year, I think the parity in the league was quite unique. We unfortunately were in second place going into the last two weekends and missed out, ran into a bump, and ended up in eighth. But I think overall the parity in the league is very good. I think that obviously Charlotte is always going to be at the top from, I think, a coaching standpoint, with the resources they have and all that goes with that. They're in a pretty good position. But I think St. Louis has reloaded with some junior college guys that they're going to have some maturity there. If they gel together similarly to last year, I think they're going to certainly be in the run for it. I think Dayton kind of had in their eyes, I know they wanted to have a better season than they did, but they have quite a bit coming back. And Xavier and Rhode Island, I think overall they've kind of put themselves in a position where they've had success, and the coaching staff and their players are doing a nice job, where there isn't a big drop off from those schools. So I think those schools in particular are going to be the ones that year in and year out are probably going to be towards the top, and obviously we want to be in that mix, and that's what we're striving for.
I think I saw the promise of this team really last year, watching you guys take 2 of 3 from St. Louis, a team that eventually went on to win the Atlantic 10 and ended up upsetting a very good Charlotte team. I was very impressed.
Yeah, that was we had several weekends that we played very well, and the weekend obviously that we swept LaSalle was a big weekend for us, and also taking 2 from UMass, who got going. They missed the playoffs, but the previous year we had a tough weekend with them. So we had several weekends where I thought that we did a real good job to turn some things around. And it's not just it's also that mental thought of, well, this team may have our number. Right now we're struggling with Xavier. We got to get past them.
Yep.
And I know Rhode Island is on the schedule. We go up there this year, so that'll be a good test for us. But I just think overall we were very close last year. It was frustrating for all of us because we were so close to getting to where at least we wanted to get to our first step. And but I also think too that there was a lot to be learned from last year, and our players have really used that and built on that throughout the fall. So I'm very excited to see how this team comes out this spring. They've worked very hard in the off season with their strength training and speed, and their individual work with the coaching staff, and I just think it'll be interesting to see how we get out of the gates, but I feel confident in saying that this is going to be a close group where the chemistry may outride the lack of innings and the lack of at-bats right now.
All right, Coach. Well, we're looking forward to see how things pan out in February.
Okay, man.
Good luck.
Thanks very much.
St. Joseph's head baseball coach Fritz Hamburg joining us here on Inside the Hawks. Hawks open the season, St. Joseph's baseball, on February 18th at Old Dominion. You're listening to the Inside the Hawks podcast on St. Joseph's All Access.